Reasons. Do not accept packages or bags.
참기름 향이 좀 있어. 근데 이게 인기 상품이라니? 진짜 맛있다.
Next stop, Cathedral Parkway and Manhattan Avenue. Transfers available to M116, M3 and M7.
There that she knows, but like I really think that.
And so I gave them.
저 맥주 입고 나가는데. 너무 맛있다. 진짜 맛있어. 아, 맛있는데?
근데 거기에 약간의 쌈밥을 더 단맛이 붙여가 있어.
Meeting at 2. Do you want to wait for that? Yeah, sure. Okay, I'm going to go downstairs.
that he has them.
Really good golf. That's now, yeah, it's like they're not exact. We tried to make him.